believe in ideas that can change the world.
Every dreamer, creator, striver, and believer. At Absa Corporate and Investment Banking, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us, because your story matters. Absa.
Today of the report is banking on a better sustainable future.
For us in Absa, sustainability is core to the purpose of the organization, empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. When the environment improves, the society benefits. When there are climate issues and climate risk issues, as we experienced earlier this year, society suffers. Partnership is a big part of the story.
As Absa are prepared to stand up and be counted and to play our role in all this, so that together with others we can write positive story of positive impact and be a force for good.
Absa is one of the key partners in various commercial elements, but I think the bigger partnership that we have with Absa, and the most exciting one, is on sustainability. Absa is part of the partners that helped Safaricom to acquire first ESG linked loan last year. No one can do this alone, not the government, not in one company. We need partnerships.
We are reminded that the financial sector plays a pivotal role in shaping the trajectory of our nation's development. Banks are not merely financial intermediaries, they are the lifeblood of our economy. This report highlights how Absa Bank Kenya has embraced its collective responsibility through its initiatives in the green financing, community development, and environmental conservation. The bank is contributing to a broader national and global efforts to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. This is a journey of partnership. We could never achieve anything by ourselves in this journey, and so we appreciate the holding of your hands, the sharing of minds, the sharing of stories, the inspiration that you give us, and the works that we continue together.
Sian Flowers was established in 1993. The inspiration for the founders was climate was ideal, the workforce was ideal, and also our access to the European markets was there where most flowers were being sold to. My name is Peter Chesrem. I'm a director with the Sian Flowers Group. We are at Equator Flowers in Eldoret, and this is one of our 4 farms. Sian Flowers is one of the largest producers of cut roses in the world, particularly spray roses. We have got 4 farms across Kenya. We started off with Agriflora in 1995, and then we moved on to Equator in 1997, Masai Flowers in 2008, and in 2019 we had our latest venture, Sololo Agriculture, where we grow mainly summer flowers. Sian Roses actually serves mainly the European markets. About 60% of our flowers go to Europe, both to the auction and also to direct customers who are selling in supermarkets and wholesalers. We grow not just roses, but we also grow summer flowers as well. It's been a steady growth since we began. We used to grow single-headed roses. We've moved on to spray roses, and now we've also added summer roses onto our portfolio of products. And we're also now moving into packed at source bouquets. Our partnership with Absa has evolved over time because initially when we started off in the early 90s, they assisted us to set up the different initial farms, and they've continued to help us to expand to the new farms as well. For business like Sian Flowers, with our wide supply across the world, it's important to have a banking partner like Absa because of their financial muscle. We're able to have that support as we grow. Absa has provided us with loan facilities, especially when we're setting up our new products, when we're expanding the farms, when we're establishing our irrigation systems. Sustainability is important for us because as we've seen over the years, both our customers are demanding it, but also our local communities are demanding for us to be more sustainable. Absa has assisted us to engage in projects such as setting up our solar plants across the 4 farms. We've been able to cut 40% renewable energy across our farms, which not only reduces our costs, but also reduces our carbon footprint. It's important for our customers to know that we're finding the most sustainable ways to produce these roses, which will go a long way towards ensuring that in the future that our environment is actually kept clean and good. We employ over 2,500 employees across our 4 farms. So the biggest impact that Absa has had on our business was actually during the COVID-19 pandemic. With Absa's support, we're able to work out how we can continue with this project because during that period, a lot of organizations were scaling down their operations, whereas we were actually starting off a whole new farm and creating a whole new strategy for the Sian Flowers group. Absa's support was really significant during that period because we actually laid off 0 staff, and even for our customers, they knew that if we could get through that period unscathed, there was actually a lot of room for growth and they could rely on us. So the future plans of Sian Flowers is we want to actually move towards bouquet making. Currently, we send our flowers as mono bunches. We're seeing a steady progression of more of that value addition being moved to Kenya. So as Sian Flowers, we want to actually make 90% of our exports to be bouquets. That'll actually create more employment. It will increase our revenues as a company. As we move into value addition, it's going to be quite a massive project. But we know that with Absa, as we've been through the last 25 years, we'll be able to achieve our goals and ensure that for the coming decades, we'll actually be able to meet our market needs. Absa has taken the time to understand our story. They've been with us from the beginning when we started off on 20 hectares, and now we're over 200 hectares. Over that period, Absa has got to know our story and where we're going to. Because of that, we are confident that the future for Sian Flowers is bright.
My name is Peter Karoki, the director of Wood Creek School, an international school that has been here for the last 5.5 years. We are people who like to be disciplined, and we know where discipline emanates from. Also, there are some parents who want their children to concentrate. You know, a lot of parents, they are traveling out. They want someone to help them. One of the biggest challenges that we have faced as a school is, of course, setting up the infrastructure. So we went to Absa and we told them this is our plan. We've been able to acquire the land, the 4 acres. We have 2 hostel blocks that can house 198. For a bank to come in, they have first to see the viability of a business. They have to see the equity investments of the ownership. They have to see. We were able to have Absa assist us. They've given us 3 tranches of loans, almost equal to 700 million. The biggest product that we get is the business expansion loan. The loan is to help us expand the facilities. They've helped our employees have personal loans that help them in their own growth. The relationship manager is very easy to get in touch with, and we feel that Absa is a real partner in our business. I would advise anyone who wants to grow to work with Absa because they help you get things done.
My name is Wambui Mugonjogu, one of the director at Waterline Hardware and Tools. The location Kitengela because it's a fast growing town. Tunataka ukiingia uone aya wako na kila kitu. Hiyo kuget kila kitu, kuna point ilifika tukaona we need finances kustock hiyo duka. Na that's when a friend akatuambia by the way Absa hupatiana secured loan. Hapo ndipo tukaenda Absa. We told them the plan we had for our business na kitu ya kwanza wakatupatia overdraft. To be able to expand the shop. Getting a bank that will believe in you, will believe in your dreams, that was a dream come true.
My name is Peter Karoki, the director of Wood Creek School, an international school that has been here for the last 5.5 years. We are people who like to be disciplined, and we know where discipline emanates from. Also, there are some parents who want their children to concentrate. You know, a lot of parents, they are traveling out. They want someone to help them. One of the biggest challenges that we have faced as a school is, of course, setting up the infrastructure. So we went to Absa and we told them this is our plan. We've been able to acquire the land, the 4 acres. We have 2 hostel blocks that can house 198. For a bank to come in, they have first to see the viability of a business. They have to see the equity investments of the ownership. They have to see the future. We were able to have Absa assist us. They've given us 3 tranches of loans, almost equal to 700 million. The biggest product that we get is the business expansion loan. The loan is to help us expand the facilities. They've helped our employees have personal loans that help them in their own growth. The relationship manager is very easy to get in touch with, and we feel that Absa is a real partner in our business. I would advise anyone who wants to grow to work with Absa because they help you get things done.
My names are Alex Wafulawa Mwana. I'm born in Bungoma County and I run a business. I'm involved in a supermarket business. I also have a wholesale. I also have a soda distribution business. I had challenges in managing the business because I am a teacher. I had vowed that if my wife is working class, I will resign to run the business. If she's not working, then I will convince her to manage the business as I continue with my teaching job. I'm looking forward to own a heavy truck to transport my goods easily from suppliers. I've had challenges like any ordinary entrepreneur. When I got interested in trucks, I was banking with another bank that financed me the first truck. Along the way, that truck was stolen, so I had to rush back to the financer. I was told this time I don't qualify. But when I approached Absa, they came in very handy and financed me the second truck, which was even having a higher capacity than the first truck. Absa has really supported me. Currently, I'm having 4 trucks. All the 4 trucks are still on loan, and I'm comfortably paying for them. It looks like a miracle to somebody if I say Absa has financed me 4 lorries, which I'm still paying, and also around 4 loans. I've been telling my fellow businessmen, young and those who are established, that Absa has served me well. I'm looking forward into a bright future because of Absa.
An excellent cup of tea often inspires a great story. This is a story of Global Tea and Commodities Limited. My name is Lalindra De Silva. I am the Financial Controller of Global Tea and Commodities Kenya Limited. We are by far the largest tea exporter in Kenya and probably in East Africa as well. Plus, we export tea to various countries such as the UK, the Middle East, West Africa, South America. Literally, you could find our tea all around the world. We have a wide range of teas, and by far we are the market leaders in the premium segment. Kenya has been one of the largest tea producing countries in the world. So us as Global Tea, we have strategically placed ourselves to ensure that the Kenyan tea reach to its proper destined customers, especially in the European markets, in the UK, where the Kenyan tea is found in almost all supermarket shelves. Our group as a whole has employed close to 1,000 employees and bettering the livelihoods of our fellow Kenyans. Out of that, 60% are ladies. That creates a ripple effect on their families. What about the youth? You have so much of people working in the port. We need drivers, we need turnboys. So all these employment opportunities come up. And also when you're loading the teas, the tea industry, also global tea, with the amount of volumes we generate, has had a positive impact on Mombasa. We've been with Absa for quite some time. Our relationship really took off last year, where we got into working capital funding with Absa. The facilities which we enjoy from Absa has helped us grow our business in the last year tremendously. Today, the current trade environment in the world is ever changing. We face so much of challenges, from delays in shipping lines, to getting the teas out, to foreign currency problems. One of the rainbows in the storm has been Absa's TMO system, where now we don't need...
Good morning, Peter.
We believe in ideas that can change the world.
Every dreamer, creator, striver, and believer. At Absa Corporate and Investment Banking, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us, because your story matters. Absa.
An excellent cup of tea often inspires a great story. This is a story of Global Tea and Commodities Limited. My name is Lalindra De Silva. I am the Financial Controller of Global Tea and Commodities Kenya Limited. We are by far the largest tea exporter in Kenya and probably in East Africa as well. Plus, we export tea to various countries such as the UK, the Middle East, West Africa, South America. Literally, you could find our tea all around the world. We have a wide range of teas, and by far we are the market leaders in the premium segment. Kenya has been one of the largest tea producing countries in the world. So us as Global Tea, we have strategically placed ourselves to ensure that the Kenyan tea reach to its proper destined customers, especially in the European markets, in the UK, where the Kenyan tea is found in almost all supermarket shelves. Our group as a whole has employed close to 1,000 employees and bettering the livelihoods of our fellow Kenyans. Out of that, 60% are ladies. That creates a ripple effect on their families. What about the youth? You have so much of people working in the port. We need drivers, we need turnboys. So all these employment opportunities come up. And also when you're loading the teas, the tea industry, also Global Tea, with the amount of volumes we generate, has had a positive impact to Mombasa. We've been with Absa for quite some time. Our relationship really took off last year, where we got into working capital funding with Absa. The facilities which we enjoy from Absa has helped us grow our business in the last year tremendously. Today, the current trade environment in the world is ever changing. We face so much of challenges, from delays in shipping lines, to getting the teas out, to foreign currency problems. One of the rainbows in the storm has been Absa's TMO system, where now we don't need to send physical documents to the bank anymore. We just need to upload the documents on the Absa system and our job gets done. Our invoices get discounted within the same day the payments come through. It's a system which have clearly understood a need in the market and has been a game changer. Absa is a bank which understands the client's needs. They understood what Global Tea required. When you start growing, you need a bank which can fund that growth as well. Absa was the first bank to put their hands up and say, we would like to partner with you. Looking back 30 years ago, from starting from one warehouse to setting up the largest tea processing plant in East Africa, we have come a long way. That has been our story. There are so many pages more which needs to be written, and I am extremely happy that Absa has partnered with us. Together, we can write the next chapter of our story. A story which involves growth, employment opportunities, more funding coming into the country, and taking Kenyan tea to the next level.
I'm Damaris Debets, the founder of Asali Betrebet. I started it back in 2022 while I was still in campus, and since then it has grown really immensely. First of all, I'm a Shista. I graduated this year, May. The program really helped me with skills, and also Absa has helped me with finances, since SMEs and finances is really tough. But they have helped me finance my business, and it has grown really fruitful. I like Absa because they walk with you through the journey. No matter how small, for us, they use entrepreneurs. We always fear banks because we don't know anything about it. But for Absa, they partner with you, they walk with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everybody. Can I hear a little more emphatic? Good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to you all. Welcome to the launch of the Absa Kenya Foundation. I would please like us all to rise for the national anthem.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
You may take your seats. So once again, welcome to the launch of the Absa Kenya Foundation. I'd like to say a very warm welcome to all of you distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to members of staff of Absa Bank Kenya, led by your CEO and Bwana Chairman. We also pay special recognition to our chief guest today. Thank you so much for making the time for us, the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, Honorable Aden Duale. And thank you very much as well to our chief guest, Principal Cabinet Secretary in the Republic of Kenya, and also Cabinet Secretary in charge of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. Thank you for coming. It is a beautiful setting we are in. We are coming to you from Karura Forest. Couldn't be a better place to be this morning. And of course, to all of those who are here with us, joining us online. And I'd also like to mention, we are live this morning on Citizen Television. My name is Yvonne Okwara, and I will be taking you through this day today, where we take a look at Absa's journey in empowering communities. Absa has been at the forefront of sustainability and leading that conversation, partnering with others, empowering stories and empowering communities. And today, with the launch of this foundation, it takes that a bigger step forward, which is cementing this work that will be done, that has already been done, and what the future will look like. You are going to hear today stories of people, young men, young women, those who are in various sectors of the economy and of course of sustainability, who are doing some great things and who have been empowered by Absa. So you're going to get to hear their stories and as well learn what this foundation is all about and its key pillars. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin, allow me to please welcome the board chairman, Mr. Charles Mushene. Please give him a warm round of applause.
Good morning, Your Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, our chief guest today, Honorable Aden Duale, CS Environment, esteemed representatives of the international bodies represented here, fellow members of the board, and I acknowledge you, Christine and Kidibone, members of the country management team, our customers, our partners, business leaders present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Let me start off by giving you a very, very warm welcome. It's our honor and privilege to host you here today on this momentous occasion. And we're delighted that you could spare the time to be with us. And also appreciate those of you who have joined us on the online platforms. You are very welcome, and we appreciate your involvement at this event. And so it's with great privilege that I have that honor of welcoming you all here today as we open the next chapter of our unfolding story. A bold narrative of ambition, transformation, and purpose. One that will shape our future, uplift our communities, and inspire lasting growth. At the core of this transformation is the understanding that genuine progress extends beyond short-term measures. It demands bold, integrated strategies that balance business imperatives and social aspirations. Through these deliberate efforts, we plan to empower communities to flourish and to become the driving force behind lasting transformation. Today, we stand poised on the brink of creating a legacy, one that will deliver lasting impact and spark change for generations to come. As a mindful corporate citizen, we have embraced and adapted to the constant changes in the ways businesses fit within and interact with society. And so since 2015, our journey has been a quiet but very purposeful revolution, moving towards a path that is both holistic and enduring. Today is a marker on this road, a pledge to a future that is woven with shared purpose, where change grows deep roots and flourishes. Our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen, the launch of the Absa Kenya Foundation marks a defining moment in our commitment to sustainability, signaling our dedication to the shaping of new narratives with the communities that we serve. The foundation aligns seamlessly with Absa Kenya's broader vision, focusing on environmental stewardship, social responsibility, good governance, and influencing public policy. Our mission is to uplift society while at the same time tackling the urgent challenges of climate change and protecting biodiversity for generations to come. And so I'm therefore very pleased to let you know that we will prioritize our work in 4 key pillars. There is entrepreneurship, education and skills, natural resource management, and health and humanitarian relief. These areas embody our drive to nurture, ensuring that our communities not only thrive today, but are equipped for the future. Through these efforts, we aim to build resilience, foster innovation, and create opportunities that will stand the test of time. When Abdi Mohammed, our MD, comes to the podium, he'll give you a lot more information about what falls under each of those pillars. Ladies and gentlemen, it is essential to emphasize that the decision to establish the foundation was not taken in isolation, but rather it was shaped by invaluable insights and contributions from very many stakeholders. Their collective wisdom illuminated a clear path forward, that we need a dedicated entity to bolster and elevate our efforts. One of the key revelations from these discussions was the importance of creating a platform that consolidates our existing program while at the same time nurturing a spirit of innovation. This will empower us to broaden our reach and our scale. By teaming up with dynamic partners who share our vision, we will unlock the potential to co-create, co-fund, and bring powerful initiatives to life, combining resources and expertise to make a bigger impact together. Our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen, Abdi will soon share highlights of the strategic priorities of the foundation, but I would like to underscore our alignment with the government's development agenda. Our goal is to unlock business opportunities and expand financial access for small enterprises and entrepreneurs across the nation. Equally, we are investing in the future of our youth, equipping them with the skills and knowledge that they need to thrive in an evolving world of work. At the heart of our efforts is a renewed focus on engaging with communities to champion environmental and biodiversity conservation. These initiatives will not only safeguard our natural resources, but will also serve as vital avenues for economic empowerment, ensuring that conservation efforts become a source of income as well as opportunity for those who participate. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, our new chapter calls for more than ambition. It demands unity, vision, and courage. No great endeavor is ever achieved in isolation. It is through strategic partnerships, vibrant collaborations, and shared purpose that we will lay the foundation for the future that we seek. On behalf of the board, I affirm our commitment to bringing and forging alliances that will harness the strength of both the public and the private sectors. Collectively, we will not only sustain the present, but we will also shape a future that is filled with boundless potential. And so, I call upon all of us to stride forward with grace and conviction, united by a purpose that is far greater than ourselves. The road ahead is rich with promise, and with hands firmly joined, there is no limit to what we can achieve. The future awaits, and it's ours to shape. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Kindly, let's give the chairman another warm round of applause, laying out what has been the journey for Absa and what the future looks like, and this new chapter and this new beginning. I'd like us to get to understand what the chairman was saying a little better by taking a look at Absa's journey with sustainability, empowering and working with communities. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at Absa's journey and Absa's impact in empowering your story.
For over a century, Absa has been on a journey, one of impact, transformation, and empowerment. A journey deeply rooted in the stories of the people who inspire us every day. Entrepreneurship is the lifeblood of Kenya's economy. Absa is not only supporting today's businesses, but paving the way for the future by providing access to financing, mentorship, and training.
The role of Absa plays for me is advice, giving me capital, and give me the direction. The rest of the ladies wafungue account kwa Absa. Absa inasaidia wamama, kusema ukweli inasaidia.
V4D, this is a regional program that is commissioned by the German government and implemented by GIZ. The program is also funded by European Union and Norway government. V4D builds up on the success of E4D, a program that we implemented in collaboration with Absa. This program had the objective of catalyzing the competitiveness of 1,500 women entrepreneurs. The SIHA Empowered project in partnership with Absa led to the employment of 1,000 people, out of whom 85% were women. Also, more than 1,100 enterprises improved their business capacity through increasing their annual turnover. The partnership with Absa Kenya Foundation will focus on incubation and acceleration of women enterprises to ensure that they easily access markets and finance.
In the coming years, we aim to support 50,000 MSMEs with a focus on women, youth, and people living with disabilities, driving sustainable economic growth. Through education and skills development, we've empowered thousands, investing in digital literacy and skills, providing scholarships, and building foundations for a brighter tomorrow. But this is just the beginning.
These computers are going to boost the enrollment of the school, because many parents want schools where computer is taught. After Form 4, our girls will be able to fit very well outside there.
I never had to deal with the last minute struggle about rushing, clearing my fee balance, not sitting for examination because I have fee balances. I would like to thank Absa so much for this opportunity. Same way they stepped in my life and changed it, same way I'd also one day want to just touch someone's life.
When I was contacted to apply this scholarship, I was really happy and hopeful that finally I'd get a way out financially.
It is beyond scholarship. Absa have given me a study laptop. They have given me upkeep money enough to support me at school and also support my grandmother. Now she's comfortable. Absa, you have wiped tears out of the face of a boy from an interior village. A boy who could not imagine of getting out of a madhouse with his grandmother. Thank you, Absa.
Our vision is to empower 750,000 youth in the next 5 years through education and skills that will align them with the needs of tomorrow's industries. Looking ahead, our commitment to sustainable practices remains firm. By working together with communities, we're protecting our natural resources and helping Kenya transition to a low-carbon, climate-resilient future.
Public resources are normally a problem with what we call the tragedy of the commons. Anything that is commonly owned is never very well looked after. And I think Absa has done so well in fighting the tragedy of the commons by being a good champion for the protection and conservation of our forests. I hope that touches on to many others and even their customers.
As we write the next chapter of this story, we will catalyze action across Kenya, conserving our planet for generations to come. In times of need, we've been there, working hand in hand with our colleagues and partners, providing humanitarian relief and building resilient communities.
So as a long-time partner with Absa, Brighter Monday is excited to see the foundation extend its reach. Their commitment to empowering the youth through the Ready to Work program with future skills is transforming Kenya's education landscape. We believe the next generation is in good hands.
Early this year, we launched together with Absa and the Nakuru County government our area program in Salga, digging a borehole which was funded by Nakuru County government.
Initially, they were walking 5 to 7 kilometers to access water, and when they accessed this water, it was not clean water.
So it was important to partner with those institutions that also believe in the sustainability of communities, and Absa is one such partner.
At the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, on very short notice, Absa came through with food assistance for over 6,000 people. The food assistance reached over 400 students from 9 schools in Laikipia County and hundreds of families in Kajiado County and many more in the urban slums of Nairobi County. We are looking forward to what the future holds as they continue to deepen their impact in the communities we serve together.
Hata walemavu ni watu wanaweza kufanya kazi na kuishi wakijitegemea na kuwa na familia zao.
Kwanza nashukuru kwa sababu itafanya ule mtoto ambaye ameregeshwa nyumbani kidogo atarudi shule kupitia Absa. Asante Absa.
Our story of impact did not start yesterday. For over a century, we touched millions of lives. And now, our focus is on the future.
At Absa Kenya, we believe in the transformative power of growth stories, stories of growth for individuals, communities, and enterprises. The Absa Kenya Foundation represents our commitment to supporting such growth stories. And the launch of the Absa Kenya Foundation starts a journey that continues to present Absa as a force for good in the communities. Because in Absa, your story matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, rather impressive, isn't it? I wanted you to see what the board chair was talking about, those 4 pillars, and the work that Absa has been doing and what the future looks like. Because these are not just numbers and statistics, these are real lives that have been impacted. And it's about cementing the journey for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to indulge me just a little bit more because I want us to see some of those stories here. You've seen that young man saying you wiped the tears off his face. For a boy from the interior, those stories matter. Now here is another story. A young lady who was attending one of Absa's functions. I believe she was there to do some work and then sat down very seriously with Absa to then see how she could get empowered. But that's not my story to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the story of Damaris Chebet, who is the founder of Asali by Chebet. Let's give her a warm round of applause as she comes to tell us her story and how she has been empowered. Karibu sana, Damaris.
Wow. You all look so nice from up here. How are you? Distinguished guests, esteemed partners and members of Absa family, good morning. I'm truly honored to stand here today as we witness the launch of Absa Kenya Foundation, an initiative that I believe will leave a lasting mark on young women entrepreneurs like me, businesses and individuals' lives across Kenya. My name is Damaris Chebet, founder of Asali by Chebet. A little backstory of how Asali by Chebet came to existence. So I started my business when I was in campus, my 4th year. I had gone to Asha, an event. I asked them if I can display my products. I sell honey, and they gave me a table where I displayed my products. And Absa were part of the organization. They were partners with OIT Kenya. And Joyce from Absa noticed me, and that is how I came to interact with Absa for the first time. And it has really been a successful journey, I would say. At Asali by Chebet, we are deeply committed in promoting sustainability and empowering local communities we work with. I stand before you today not just as a business owner, but as a living testament to the power of mentorship and entrepreneurship support from Absa Kenya. The major challenge that youth face in our country is the high rate of unemployment. Through Asali by Chebet, I have been able to create employment for myself and several others. Our young people, full of potential and drive, are grappling with limited opportunities to put their skills to use. The unemployment rate, especially among the youth, is a growing concern, and the ripple effect of this reality touches all of us. But this is not a story of despair. It is a story of hope, and that hope is fueled by initiatives such as Absa Foundation. Through the Absa She Stars program, I have seen firsthand how mentorship and entrepreneurship education can transform lives. I've learned that being an entrepreneur is more than just having a great product like mine. It's about being equipped with the right skills to navigate the challenges that come with growing a business in today's fast-paced world. With Absa's Kenya financial support and access to credit, we were able to scale our honey production, expand our product line to include infused honey varieties. We have lemon-infused honey, we have ginger-infused honey, we have chili-infused honey, and expand our product range to include kitchen accessories such as chopping boards and wooden cooking spoons. This has allowed us to grow our customer base across all 47 countries. That is one thing that in my goal for this year, I wanted to expand my reach within the country and have been able to reach a number of countries across our country, which is a really good thing. The program emphasizes on mentorship is crucial because as entrepreneurs, we need more than just capital, for sure. We need guidance, support, and networks to help our businesses thrive. The impact doesn't stop with me. At Asali Bechebet, we are now creating job opportunities for myself and several others, be it through our supply chain, production processes, or retail partnerships. This is the ripple effect of empowerment with the knowledge and support gained from Absa Kenya. We are not only building a business, but we are building livelihoods, contributing to the reduction of unemployment in our communities. The launch of Absa Kenya Foundation marks the beginning of many transformative stories like mine. As we celebrate this launch, I urge all stakeholders to continue investing in initiatives that nurture small businesses and entrepreneurs like mine, especially women and youth. Let us remember that in empowering one business, we are uplifting entire communities. Thank you, Absa, for your commitment to fostering entrepreneurship, providing mentorships for young women, and for the invaluable support you have given to businesses like mine. Together, we are building a brighter, more inclusive future for all. And if you'd like to taste our honey, which is the highest quality honey in our country, you can pass by my stand there. And it's few pieces, so it's limited. You better run. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Clearly, you know how to take advantage. I was going to do that and remind you all, Asali by Chebet is available outside. There are no free samples, please. So take out your wallets and please invest and buy it. And it's, value addition. This is what we're seeking to do in private sector and with government. And you can see that there's a lot of work that's being done to ensure that, we're building enterprise and changing lives and creating jobs. So that is with regards to entrepreneurship. I just want us to hear one more story. Regarding natural resource management. Now, let me just, inform you all that our chief guest, the Principal Cabinet Secretary in charge of Foreign Affairs, together with the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Forestry, just earlier planted trees before we began, to commemorate this day. And of course, we know that there is the target of 15 billion, so every chance we get to plant a tree, we do that. Now, one of the persons who was leading that is the man, Professor Karanja, who's here on natural resource management. I'll just give him about 2 minutes to give us his story. Karibu.
Okay, there goes that. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Your Excellencies, your honorable, my friends, Aidan Dwele, Musalia, who I know for many years, I just want to say something to this gentleman. It is your commitment, the commitment of corporate responsibility, to protect the natural resources that are vital for the economic growth of our country. You have done it. You have been a good example, and proof of it is you stamp like this. This ground, where you are, this is Karura Forest. My chief conservator of forest can tell you that there were 544 titles issued to developers in this forest. If that would have happened, imagine how Nairobi would look like. Professor Wangari Maathai used to call this forest one of the lungs of Nairobi. The other lung being Gong and Gong Road. Imagine for a minute what would have happened. But you, as Absa, did not shy to support us to protect this ecosystem. So I'm just here to say thank you and keep going on. I'm so happy that you are creating a foundation so that my brother Yusuf, who I've known for many years, doesn't have to get off his finance work. He can tell somebody else, we need to protect that, find out how we can do it. And hopefully this can also flow to other corporates, because we have many people making lots of money in Kenya, but they make it on the backs of those people who sweat to grow coffee and tea and sugarcane and so on, but hardly do they spend money for this type of enterprise. And the enterprise we are looking for is sustainable development. So 2 minutes are over, but I want to tell you that Karura Forest exists because two primary corporates stood with us, and you are one of them. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Professor. Indeed, it's being a good corporate citizen. Anyone who has any power, any influence, has the responsibility to do something with it. And it's about the principles of shared value. It's not just about extracting profits from the communities in which you serve. It's about giving back. And doing good is good for business. I think that has been settled a long time ago. So ladies and gentlemen, to now take us into what the Absa Kenya Foundation is, what it'll do, where it'll sit, and what the future looks like, the new chapter Absa is opening today. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Managing Director and CEO of Absa Bank Kenya, Mr. Abdi Mohamed.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Cabinet Secretary in charge of Environment, CS Aidan Duale, our Chairman, Mr. Charles Mshene, members of the media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Jambo. Before I start, I know, Chairman, you recognize the presence of the two board members. Maybe if you could just rise so that we can acknowledge you. Christine and Kedivone, these are our board members who are here with us today. Thank you very much. We also have the executive members of the executive committee, the team that helps me run this great organization. If you can stand up, and we acknowledge you as well. Karibuni. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you everybody for joining us and for the turnout from everybody, including our stakeholders, partners. I've seen many fellow CEOs from the private sector, a number from the NGO community, and of course the government of Kenya is very well represented here today. So my first task is to thank you all. This is a very important step for Absa Kenya, and we are very glad and very happy that you joined us this morning. Absa has been on this journey to be a force for good and to give back to the communities in which we do business for as long as Absa has existed, and that is about 108 years. We opened our first bank in Kenya, in Mombasa, in 1916, and that branch is existing to this day. And for as long as we have been around, we have been a force for good in the community, and we have always challenged ourselves to support the communities in which we do business. We, like many other corporates, have gone through this journey. Initially, it started as CSR, where you are just contributing to charities as and when they come up. Along the way, we started prioritizing our activities and seeing how we can have more impact, how we can focus on those areas that are important to the country and to our partners as well. And that was a very, very crucial phase that we've gone through. But more recently, the world has been talking about sustainability. And in the world of finance, that speaks to sustainable finance as we do our core job as banks, but also how we make our own operation as Absa sustainable. And in that journey, we've partnered with many other corporates who are here today. We've done 2 rounds of was our chief guest about 2 weeks ago when we launched our second sustainability report for. So the journey has been long. The step we are in today is a very, very important one as we launch the Absa Kenya Foundation. It's a vehicle that will allow us to scale up the impact of our activities and to be able to invite partners and other people that are ready to work with us. And we already have a list of local and international partners that have said, once you launch the Absa Kenya Foundation, we will work with you. And so we are very pleased with what we are doing today. In the few minutes that I have here, I will share a bit of the backstory, where we've come from, what we have achieved, and also the priorities for the foundation, and where the call to action and the support that we need as Absa. I won't go through every one of those. There are a few important headlines there. Waziri and I were talking earlier about how we use the influence of the banking sector to ensure that our customers also run sustainable businesses. And you know, in Absa, we track ourselves on how much of the funding we do into the market meets the definition of sustainable finance. And there is a very technical definition around environment, around social impact. And in the last 2 years, we've done 150 billion of financing into that sector. As a bank, this is perhaps the area where we have the highest impact from a sustainability perspective. And you know, one of the big ones that has been public, and we've talked about it publicly with Safaricom, is the sustainability-linked finance to Safaricom that we did last year, 15 billion last year, 15 billion about 2 weeks ago, and so 30 billion to an organization that has such a wide social impact in our country. And there are many others, including small businesses like the one Chebet just spoke about, that we continue to support. We also look at entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial development. A lot of work has been done in that space. Elizabeth, who is here, our business banking director, is the champion in that area. And about 2 months ago, we had an event that we did in partnership with the government of Kenya. Waziri Rebecca Miano joined us. And in that event, we hosted 1,000 women business leaders from 12 African countries here in Nairobi. And we partnered with a lot of external partners as well. We also have the internship program with the Public Service Commission. And at the beginning of 2023, we had a big event that His Excellency the President attended and commented very positively on the work that Absa is doing on the internship area. We have environment as a key pillar. We've done 1.4 million trees so far from a target of 10 million, which Waziri has told us is too low. But, you know, we are making very, very good progress in that regard as well. And we've done upskilling of youth through a free online program that has impacted 250,000 young people in our country. And that's a journey that we will continue doing as well. And then lastly, on this looking back picture, athletics is core to brand Kenya. And Absa has played a very important role in supporting sports and sporting activities. You know, the Kip Keino Classic is perhaps one of the biggest sporting events in our country, and Absa has been the primary sponsor since it started. And last year we had His Excellency the President and Dr. Musalia and others joined us to watch some very good sport. We do the Magical Kenya Open, which is a global event in the golfing fraternity, and many other smaller sporting activities that are part of our sustainability agenda. So that's the looking back story. But let me perhaps skip quickly to the page that speaks about the 4 pillars of the Absa Kenya Foundation as we look forward. And I think the chairman covered some of them. They address some of the most important priorities that our country faces and the continent of Africa as well. Developing entrepreneurship and developing young people for the challenges in the world today. It's a transformed and transforming world. The old ways of doing things are becoming more and more challenging. And the demographic opportunity that we have in our country is a young, educated population. And we want to play our role as a leading corporate to say, how do we take that opportunity and how do we play our part to support both in terms of helping young entrepreneurs. And there'll be a lot of activities under the Absa Kenya Foundation to do that. But also for those who want to go into employment, provide the skills that the modern world requires. So there's a lot of partnerships we are doing with the University of Nairobi, with some private entities such as ZTech University and others to ensure that the content that is provided and the graduates that we are putting out to the job market are ready, are skilled, and can transition into that world. So the entrepreneurship, education, protecting our environment, and of course, when you have foundations such as the one we are setting up, there will always be things that happen that are event-based that will require that we intervene. And you know, in May this year, we had the flooding and related activities, and we played our part as part of the Kenya Bankers Association to participate in that as well. So that's the backstory, as well as the key pillars of what we want to achieve and the way forward. On this journey, we partner with many, many corporates. You saw Peter Ndegwa in one of the pictures that were shown, and Safaricom is a good example of a corporate partner that we've worked well together. I know Martin Ochieng is here from Sasini. We are working on partnerships with them as well. And there are many other corporates that we will be working with. Absa also plays a very important part in the UN Global Compact, which is a group of companies that are on this sustainability journey together. And we encourage and support each other I sit on the board, Peter sits on that board, Martin sits on that board, and we drive that agenda together because we believe that sustainability is not about one company or one entity or the government on its own or individuals on their own. It's about partnership and working together. So our chief guest, I will conclude by saying the vision is clear. The agenda and the mission that we have set for ourselves is ambitious, but with the support of the government of Kenya, with the support of all the partners that we work with, we believe that we are set for the next phase of this journey as we make more impact in the society. And it all comes back to our purpose as Absa Group. You know, we have a purpose that says empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. And every one of those words is important. It's about empowerment, it's about growth, it's about our continent, our country, which is the future of the world when you look at the Africa dynamics and the demographics that are developing. It's also about tomorrow. Tomorrow speaks to hope, it speaks to inspiration. And we talk about doing it together, all of us together, not one organization. And we say that within that story, you know, there are many statistics we give. We say 50,000 organizations trained, etc. Each one is a unique story like the one Chebet just gave us. And so we focus on the stories as well. So thank you very much. I will now stop there and take this opportunity to welcome the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Environment, Mr. Eden Duale, who has been very, very supportive of our cause. Karibu sana, Waziri. Welcome.
The Prime Cabinet Secretary and CS for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, and my boss, the chairman and board members of Absa Kenya, led by my very good friend Charles Muchane, Chief Executive and Managing Director, Absa Kenya, Abdi Mohammed, distinguished guests, esteemed stakeholders, members of the Fourth Estate, our Chief Forest Conservator, Professor Joroge, all of you, welcome to Karura Forest, our home. So you are our very important guests this morning. And we host between 7 to 10 million Kenyans every week. But every weekend, in a month, we host about between 70 to 80,000 Kenyans come to Karura Forest. So it's a great pleasure for me to join you on this very important, momentous occasion as we launch the Absa Kenya Foundation. And I'm particularly delighted that we chose Karura Forest as the venue of this event. Karura Forest is truly the jewel in our country's conservation efforts, embodying the principles of environmental protection that we shall all strive to uphold. But let me take this early opportunity to thank the entire leadership of Absa Kenya for their recent invitation during their launch of the 2023 Sustainable Report. Although I could not attend due to other official duties, I think I was ably represented by Dr. Ngeno, who is our PS, Environment and Climate Change. And I want to commend Absa Kenya for its very strong commitment to integrating sustainability into your business operation and working towards a sustainable future for our planet, for our communities and for future generations. With today's launch of Absa Kenya Foundation, you now have even a more bigger, greater platform to collaborate with other stakeholders in advancing a very impactful, a deliberate effort to be a force for good. And I understand that the foundation has identified entrepreneurship, education, natural resource management, and health as its key focus areas. These are very crucial pillars that align with our shared vision of improving the quality of life for our communities across our country. As we gather here today, we are reminded that sustainability is no longer a choice, but a necessity. Natural resource management, whether in the context of forest, water bodies, land use, our marine diversity, requires our collective multi-stakeholder approach if we are to secure a healthy planet for future generations. The Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry commends the private sector in our country for its proactive commitment to climate action. Together, through various policies and initiatives, we are working towards fostering a green economy, enhancing climate resilience, and promoting sustainable land management practices. In the context of our national agenda as a government and people, sustainability is imperative. The Kenya government, through the initiative such as the 15 billion tree growing program, and Abdi, I think you need to increase from 10 million to about 50 million. Because we need to plant 1.5 billion every year in the next 10 years. As of today, we are at 481 million. So before December, I have a work to do. I have to, by the close of December 31st, inshallah, as me and Professor and the many other actors, we must plant 1.5. Our neighbors, Ethiopia, have done 32.1 billion. And we must clap for them. Prime Minister Abiy has done a good work. President William Ruto is the chairman of African heads of state and government on climate change. So he's leading from the front. And the minister was telling me, you need to go to pre-COP 29, not because you are the minister for Environment Kenya, but you are the minister for environment in charge of Africa, representing the chairman. So I think the private sector plays very well. And we are going to have a scorecard where we're going to have an event where we are going to showcase and give them the presidential award schemes to the best of our private sector players in helping us restore our ecosystem, restore our marine ecosystem. In the context of our national agenda, sustainability is imperative. So the 15 billion growing program aims to increase our forest cover, which is now at 10.3% to 30% by 2032. This is a very ambitious goal. And it's not just about planting trees. It's about restoring the ecosystem. We don't call it planting, we call it growing. You can plant a tree and it dies tomorrow. So we say it's growing, not planting. But it's more about our ecosystem. It's more about mitigating the climate change. And it's more about creating sustainable livelihoods for our communities. However, we recognize this target cannot be achieved by government alone. And the Prime Cabinet Secretary will agree with me. Every Cabinet Secretary has a day to plant trees and has a county. From the President to the head of public service. One day, with their staff, they must go to the locations we have allocated for them in our various 47 counties, and they go and plant. I don't know which day I have allocated the Prime Cabinet Secretary, because my biggest worry is he's always moving. So he has a choice to plant maybe the one weekend that is in the country. It's the only one we have given him a leeway. We need the private sector now to step up, not just as partners, but as key drivers of innovation and scalable solution. And in this regard, I want to commend Absa Kenya for its commendable initiative to grow the 1.2 million trees to date, with a goal of reaching 10 million by 2032, subject to review, after consulting the chairman and Abdi. But for now, we are very happy with the 10 million. Collaborative efforts like this between government and the private sector will be instrumental in realizing the ambitious 15 billion trees by 2032. And we are open to further dialogue. We are open to collaboration, and we are open to joint initiatives that can amplify our collective impact on the ground. The rural resource management pillar of your foundation is of a particular interest, and you can count on our support as government to continue to drive this agenda. The potential for Kenya's forestry sector is enormous, and I urge the private sector, especially the banking industry, to consider commercial forestry and agroforestry as a viable and profitable ventures. The forestry sector presents a golden opportunity to our citizens for not only to contribute to environmental conservation, but also drive economic growth and job creation. Let us take inspiration from countries like Finland, where the forestry industry contributes significantly to the economy, making up to 20% of their export revenue. Finland model demonstrates how sustainable forest management, coupled with the innovative industrial process, can turn forestry into a key economic pillar. Similarly, Sweden and Brazil boast of their robust forestry industries that are vital for economic development. Here in Kenya, we have the potential to do the same. Commercial forestry, whether for timber production or wood processing or export, can create thousands of jobs for our young people. Banks and institutions such as Absa have a very, very unique and important role to play in promoting these sectors. You can facilitate access to capital, provide financial products tailored to forest-based enterprise. Chebet, I think your Asali needs forests and trees. Yeah? Without, where do the bees go to? So there must be trees, and there must be forest. So we must practice, we must improve the practice that improves land productivity and enhance biodiversity and increase our farmers' resilience to climate change. There are immense opportunities for investment in this area, and I will talk about it. But today is not my day. Today is the day for the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Just to add on two very important things. And I think I use this platform to talk to the private sector. We want to clean Nairobi River. And if you read history, the Thames River in London was at one time as large. But today, I'm sure all of you who have been there, is a major even transport hub. The president and the government and myself as the minister for environment and climate change, we are committed to change Nairobi River. We don't have a river now. We have something else. So we want the private sector to partner with us on the cleanup, on the restoration, and the regeneration of the Nairobi rivers. If you see the rivers within Karura Forest, you can go and drink the water as people walk. John Michuki, may his soul rest in peace, and Wangari Maathai did great fundamental work in terms of our environmental conservation and ecosystem. My plea to the banks is the law provides, the Environmental Management Act provides, where corporates who pollute the environment, industries and factories who pollute the environment will be charged, and they will be under obligation, and they will receive restoration order from NEMA to restore that river. So if we find any of your package, for example, along Nairobi River, the owner of that brand is under obligation to clean the river. So we have a big program. We are going to host a meeting with all the private sector players, including Absa. We want you to help us fence our forest. Karura today is great because it is fenced. Karura now is over-congested. We want to offload part of the people coming to Karura to go to City Park, which we have taken over. We are trying to also partly fence and allow the people who live in Karen to go to Ololua and Ngong Forest. We don't want Kenyans to spend a lot of time in the malls. They need fresh air. Maybe one weekend they go to the malls, the other weekend they go to the forest and they walk. I've seen people doing 10. Here in Karura you can do 5 kilometers, you can do 10, you can do 20. Am I right? Yeah, you can do 15. You can come here at 5. Our rangers are everywhere. This morning as I was driving, and I'm sure the prime cabinet sectors you are driving, I don't know which gate you have used. We have many gates in Karura. It's very, very secure. Please, Absa, and I know you are partnering with Safaricom, help us restore our ecosystem. And finally, climate change is real. From drought to floods to landslide is a current thing. We must have clear policies of mitigation and adaptation on how to deal with climate change. I'm going to COP29 with the Prime Cabinet Secretary and the President, and we are going to talk to the polluters. Africa contributes less than 4%. The people who pollute the environment are in the global north. The victims are in the global south, Kenya included. So in Baku, in Azerbaijan, in November, the story will be climate financing. Big corporations in the global north must commit finances, carbon credit transfer to the global south for the crimes they're committing to the environment. Thank you very much. It's now my duty and honor to invite my boss, my friend, and colleague in cabinet, the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Please, let's put our hands together to invite Honorable Musalia.
Okay. the Honorable Adan Duale, my brother and colleague, who is in charge of Environment and Forestry, Mr. Charles Muchene, Chairman of Absa Kenya Group, Mr. Abdi Mohammed, the Managing Director and CEO of Absa Bank Kenya, stakeholders and partners, my schoolmate Karanja, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Before I make my remarks, allow me, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Minister, to just veer off slightly before I pronounce myself on the launch. First, Chebet, please save me at least 2 jars of honey. When I finish, I will see you at the table where the honey is. The second one is something that I was reflecting on when you talked a lot about Wangari Maathai. And I want, on behalf of environmentalists, to make a very passionate appeal to the Absa Foundation. And I hope it will sit well with you and with the members here. At Addis Ababa, at the African Union, there are usually some places that are reserved for Africans who have done an outstanding job. And you can then put a life-size bronze statue of that particular individual. Now, I want to let you know that the African Union has reserved space for Wangari Maathai. And that space has been lying bare for a very long time. So my passionate appeal to Absa is this. Since we are on the very soil that she protected vigorously, and your partners, can I appeal to the Absa Foundation to take up this challenge with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and we link up with the Addis office. You send your experts there, you take the measurements, and if Absa can finance this bronze statue of Wangari Maathai, which can then be delivered by President William Ruto to Addis and installed at that venue, which is reserved, it would be a great honor. So it's an appeal that I am making. I hope it will find a soft spot in the hearts of Absa, because it will be a very strong statement about Kenya's conviction on matters environment, but also a very strong statement to Africa on matters of conservation and extending to the aspects of climate change. So I leave that with you. Now, on a lighter note, I also want to point out that, but we may not deserve that kind of honor like Wangari Maathai, but you know, even politicians can be they can be maverick ones, but once in a while they make some very interesting contributions. And maybe I'll speak to one who is not here with us, but when I'll mention the name, some of you will remember him. During the days of making sure that there's the building of gabions, Munyonyoko wa Udongo, there was a very powerful and maverick politician in Naivasha called Karaoke Chotara. You know, sometimes somebody can be recognized in a very different way. Do you know, if you go to the new highway and you drive, you're going to Nakuru and beyond, if there's one thing that this maverick politician did, he may have harassed many people, but on this one, he actually planted a lot of trees. And when you drive on the highway through Naivasha, these were Karaoke Chotara's initiative. So I've given you the example of the Rolls Royce in environmental conservation, and I've also given you the example of the other one. I don't want to name another brand of a car because I might get hit for it. So that, to me, I thought is something I can just share with you this morning, but I hope I've made my point. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to join you this morning for this auspicious occasion for the launch of the Absa Kenya Foundation. You could not have chosen a better venue. Karura Forest is a serene and unique environmental ecosystem that reminds us of our obligations to protect our heritage, a priceless gift from Mother Nature. It also reinforces the compelling need for us to manage our business and our resources sustainably to make the world a better place for the present and future generations. I take this opportunity to commend Absa Bank Kenya for establishing Absa Kenya Foundation. You have embarked on a significant journey to uplift the livelihoods of the community that supports your business. It is also worth recognizing that your entry into this ecosystem of social investment will expand, diversify, and enrich the social capital ecosystem. You are walking on a pathway that other corporate philanthropists, including Safaricom Foundation, whom you have partnered with, M-Pesa Foundation and MasterCard Foundation, have charted through their contribution to the betterment of society. These corporate foundations, collaborating with donors and partners, have invested billions of shillings in strategic community empowerment programs that have changed the livelihoods of millions of Kenyans. The government appreciates the focus of your foundation on priority areas of our economic development, including entrepreneurship, education, and skills, resource management, health, and humanitarian relief. These economic and social development pillars will support the bottom-up economic transformation agenda and Kenya Vision 2030. It is gratifying to note that you have made entrepreneurship the central pillar of Absa Foundation engagement with the community. You are making a commitment to invest in the future of individual business owners and contribute to Kenya's social and economic transformation. Your support will help address the critical financial and capacity needs of our micro, small, and medium enterprises. These enterprises spread across all sectors and regions of our country and are the bedrock of our economy. They employ over 15 million Kenyans and contribute about 30% of the gross domestic product. The creation of such an ecosystem of support, whether it is through financial, education, mentorship, or access to tailored banking solutions, will help lift entrepreneurs and small businesses out of survival mode and enable them to thrive and scale. Bringing together the private and public sectors can assist in establishing a healthy entrepreneurial environment that supports economic growth, drives innovation, and creates jobs, particularly for our youthful population. This is especially critical for our country now as we confront the challenge of creating viable opportunities for our generation Zs or Z, who have a right to be economically empowered, to access sustainable means to a decent livelihood. Furthermore, you have underlined your commitment to support education and skills programs to enhance the employability of our young people. This is particularly important for our country, given that 70% of our population is 35 years of age and below. The other pillar of your social investment program is health, which touches the lives of majority of Kenyans across all counties. This is particularly thoughtful of you, considering the challenges we experience in delivering quality and affordable healthcare. I urge you to partner with the Ministry of Health, particularly at this time when they are transitioning into a more robust and transformative healthcare financing system for all Kenyans. Your collaboration, especially through strategic health finance models, health technology and innovation, will make an important contribution and impact to Kenyans at the bottom of the pyramid, including those from the marginalized communities. I note you have a pillar on humanitarian relief, through which you will provide targeted support to vulnerable and underserved communities, including women, youth, and people living with disabilities. This is perfectly aligned with the government's policy of equity and inclusivity to ensure that every Kenyan, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to contribute and to benefit from our nation's economic growth. Our mantra is that no one should be left behind in our social and economic transformation journey. The last pillar of your engagement is on resource management, which gives you an opportunity to join the global initiative of addressing critical climate change and resilience issues. Your choice of Karura Forest for this important event reaffirms your commitment to support Kenya in managing the impact of climate-related shocks, including frequent drought and severe flooding. Your efforts will no doubt make a difference in our agenda for green growth. I presume you will take this opportunity to identify critical areas of collaboration, including supporting the government to scale up the ongoing tree planting agenda. This will enable us to achieve the target of planting 15 billion trees even before 2032. And my colleague has spoken elaborately on this. We must also broaden the horizon by considering new areas where the government and the financial services sector can work together, enhance climate change adaptation and mitigation, including jointly mobilizing capital, driving innovation, and establishing frameworks for promoting sustainable development. The launch of Absa Foundation is also particularly timely, given the considerable pressure on government resources resulting from limited tax and external resources available to support competing poverty alleviation and growth challenges, including priority programs in education, health, infrastructure, and climate change-induced vulnerabilities. The government does not have the capacity to singularly address all these competing priorities. This underscores the urgent need for leveraging collaboration and partnerships between the government, private sector, and other stakeholders to scale up support for enterprise development. The convergence of the public and private sectors therefore represents a potent alliance capable of propelling innovation and instigating change. This collaborative approach enables us to harness the respective strengths of each other, with the public sector predominantly focused on championing equity and justice, while the private sector contributes through its finance, agility, and capacity for innovation. It is inspiring to see so many responsible corporate organizations and development institutions gathered here today, further cementing the recognition of the immense power of partnerships in reshaping our society and making it a better place for the present and future generations. We have the perfect opportunity to exchange ideas on how to harness the synergy of diverse perspectives, resources, and expertise that will contribute to meaningful progress. I assure you that the government maintains an open policy and welcomes ideas on how we can jointly scale up interventions to address the challenges facing our communities and promote shared prosperity for all. Let me conclude by once again appreciating the Absa Bank leadership and community for making a significant decision to walk in the footsteps of those who have gone ahead on this incredible journey of investing in the people and communities. I wish to recognize the collaboration and partnerships that you bring to the table, which will help you scale up your strategic interventions across sectors and regions. You are certainly creating a powerful vehicle for driving sustainable change. A long journey is always challenging when you walk alone. But working together, we have an opportunity to support each other all the way to a sustainable future. To quote a renowned American author, Helen Keller, who spent her life helping others, alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. It is now my singular pleasure and honor to declare the Absa Kenya Foundation officially launched. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi. And as he declares that moment now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have all been waiting for, the launch of Absa Kenya Foundation.
Absa Kenya Foundation, launching the roots of change. We gather together here not just to launch, to witness, but to craft the stories of empowerment, to plant a seed that holds the promise of futures of communities rooted deep in the soil of visions and of action. We stand tall, each pillar a mighty tree with canopy-wide entrepreneurship, education and skills, natural resource management, health and humanitarian relief. These are our pillars to build a robust future. Entrepreneurship, here lie the roots of resilience. It begins with an idea. A glow in the eye of a woman. a spark in the heart of a young dreamer, a man tormented with a beautiful new idea. They are ready to carve new paths to grow. With hearts as bold as the eternal baobab, business blooms, communities thrive. Education and skills are the winds of change. Trees bring whispers of knowledge. Can you hear them? Teaching the young to stand tall, to adapt, to believe. We work with them to develop the tools, the maps, the wings, and with this, they soar. Learning is a sunlight breaking through the canopy, shining on those brave enough to chase it. Natural resource management. We are the guardians of the land, stewards of this earth, protectors of the forest, the soil, the rivers, the air, the skies. We honor Mother Earth. From the roots of a shrub to the crown of the tallest tree, every leaf matters. Did you know that? We learn from the trees to heal one another. In return, nature asks for our respect. This land is a legacy to preserve. Health and humanitarian relief is our heart of humanity. In times of crisis, we stand together. We are partners holding hands with those in need because their dark moment in our communities is our dark moment. Like rain after drought, together we nurture life. We rise again. So, today, as we launch this Absa Kenya Foundation, let us not forget that these are seeds we are planting. Seeds of trees that will grow into a forest. Every tree connected, every pillar intertwined. Entrepreneurship feeds innovation. Education and skills shapes the mind. Natural resource management guarantees our future, and in times of need, will always be there providing health and humanitarian relief to our communities. We are a forest, vast and strong. And from this moment, may we grow together, rooted in a common vision to be an active force for good in our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, the Absa Kenya Foundation, empowering your story.
Let's have a huge warm round of applause. Absa Kenya Foundation launching here today. It's the start of a new chapter, and it's the continuation of great work that's been done by Absa over 100 years, and that continues from today going forward. And there is much more of that that is coming here. I just want to now take this moment, because what is a moment like this without taking some photos to remember our time here together? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite the following up on stage to help us memorialize this moment in photos. May I please ask the indulgence of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, the Chairman of Absa Bank Kenya, together with other members of the board, the CEO, Yusuf Omari, Director, Kedibone, Director, Christine Sabwa. Let's also have Elizabeth Wasuna and Mumbi Kahindo. Please give them a warm round of applause again. Isn't this a great moment? Let's have you behind this banner. Absa Kenya Foundation is now where it all sits. When Absa wants to do good, they will be coming to you for partnerships. They will be seeking your support, not just in private sector, but in government as well. And even as we remember this moment, just some feedback that's coming in from those who are joining us online as well. As you remember this moment, Malanga Suleiman is saying he's a beneficiary of Absa's Ready to Learn program and is really using those skills in his daily operation. So that shows you the impact that Absa is having, and now the greater impact with Absa Kenya Foundation. This is a great moment that we will live to remember. Thank you very much for that. We want to take a few more photos, so we'll beg your indulgence once more. Please, I know it's been a long morning so far. May I please request Prime Cabinet Secretary, Bona CS Chairman, and Abdi to please remain on stage. Let me ask the directors to take their seats. And let's also still have Elizabeth Wasuna, Mumbi Kahindo, please remain on stage. And I'd like to ask the rest of the members of the Absa Exco, wherever you are. There's one last photo with Absa's Exco. Great. We thank you so much. Please, let's give them a warm round of applause as they do this. Oh yes, absolutely. We cannot forget our host here. Thank you very much. Please join us here. And there's been a great challenge to do some more here in Karura. I'm sure that challenge has been taken up. Karibuni sana. And thank you very much for hosting us and having us here at Karura Forest. Thousands and thousands of people here. Another warm round of applause for this iconic moment, the start of a bright new future for Absa Kenya Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, you may take your seats. Thank you very much for that. Let's give them another warm round of applause as they take their seats. We would like to now say Asante Sana to our chief guest, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, as well as the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Forestry and Climate Change. We thank them for their time and being with us this morning. We understand it is a busy schedule and a busy time for them here. Many, many thanks to them for being here. It's going to be a great day. And so now, ladies and gentlemen, I remember the Prime Cabinet Secretary is there making his way to Asali by Chebet. He'd made a promise. And not only that, would also like to encourage you to continue to visit the other stands that are there. You need to see the impactful work that many are doing here in the country. And indeed, as he said, a promise is a debt. And there he is making his purchase of 2 products from Asali by Chebet. So that is wonderful. Let's give him a round of applause. Also, now that he's done that, I hope you're going to do the same. Yeah. And not just that, there's many other beautiful products that are on display. And please, let's put our money where our mouths are. Let's, commit to supporting many of the ventures that are impactful in our society today. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end, but let me invite Mr. Yusuf Omari to come up here on stage for the closing remarks and the vote of thanks. Karibu sana. Let's give him a warm round of applause, please.
You can hear me? Oh, perfect. This is good. My work is very simple. It's more of passing appreciation to all the ones who have been involved in preparing for this day. It's a great day. Is it a great day? The cooking of this meal has taken several years, I must say. And it's interesting. When I met some of our partners here, they asked me, so what is going to change? You've been doing so much in education, training 250,000, students as part of the Ready to Work program. We've partnered with different organizations for, humanitarian relief, health. You remember the time of COVID, the time of floods, the time of drought. We've been doing that all through. On the side of environment, planting of the trees, a commitment that Absa did 10 million trees, that has been there as well. And then lastly, if you look at on the side of entrepreneurship, the CEO shared some of the piece of work that we've done, including training the MSMEs in this area, the funding that we've been able to do, 150 billion on sustainable financing. And so the question was, what's going to change? And this is simple. I think what changes is the element of commitment, the element of the skill that picks up when you look at this. And then more important really is on the bit of now partnerships, because when you partner with others, you pull funds together. And when you pull funds together, you need a separate entity outside the core activities of the bank, and that's what the foundation does for us. So it's all about sustainability, something that can be able to operate separate to what the bank is doing. And so really, I know the CS for Ministry, Honorable Eden Duale said that it's not about planting trees, it's the growing of trees. And this foundation is purely because of that when we are talking about sustainability. So my piece of work is very simple, is to appreciate all of you for gracing our event today. We've gotten quite a number of advice. It's unfortunately that Eden Duale left. I wanted to get one of the commitments. He said one day over the weekend on the mall, you walk on the mall, and the other one is here, going to the forest. One of my colleagues, I won't mention her, she likes the mall a lot. I think I've looked at her, so. So Stella, tafadhali, now. You've been told mall is one day. Na hiyo siku ingine ni wapi? Kwa forest. So I wanted to tell Honorable Duale that the commitment is there. Duale requested, support in terms of that bronze statue. I've discussed with our CEO and chairman here. We will come back to him, so that's a message that can be able to go out to them. We appreciate them. In absence, the partnership with the government, with Absa, is something that we've been able to do all along. You heard about the 10,000 internships, the planting of trees. So really to appreciate the government and, of course, the chief of guests who has actually been able to grace this. Also to appreciate the different partners that we've been able to work with. I know the chair of Global Compact, Martin, is here. Thank you for gracing our occasion. We have quite a number of corporates. Safaricom, you've seen both in terms of what has been covered, including in gracing when we were launching our sustainability report. GIZ, Visa, Financing Motion, ITC, She Trades, our media partners. This has actually been streamed live. So thank you so much for creating this awareness. And all of you for getting time to be able to join us on this momentous occasion. I'll not forget, of course, our board, led by our chair, Christine Kedibone. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion. My colleagues, senior management in CMC and other senior managers who are here as well. And to all of you for making time to be able to join us on this occasion. I won't do justice by not appreciating the people behind us, the entertainers. Can we put our hands together? I know I could see some people are stamping their feet, enjoying this music. This music will still be here, so don't leave in a hurry, and some refreshments. So with those few remarks, let me say asante sana.
Very much, CFO Yusuf Omari. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your day. Continue to do good wherever you do. Don't leave in a hurry. Breakfast is served out on the tent to your left. And maybe if you carried some running gear, still looking good. You can put in a 5 kilometer or 10 kilometers for the day or for the week. Thank you, everybody. Have a good morning and a great day ahead.
For over a century, Absa has been on a journey, one of impact, transformation, and empowerment. A journey deeply rooted in the stories of the people who inspire us every day. Entrepreneurship is the lifeblood of Kenya's economy. Absa is not only supporting today's businesses, but paving the way for the future by providing access to financing, mentorship, and training.
The role of Absa plays for me is advice, giving me capital, and give me the direction. The rest of the ladies wafungue account kwa Absa inasaidia wamama, kusema ukweli inasaidia.
For me, this is a regional program that is commissioned by the German government and implemented by GIZ. The program
And
is also
one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, there are
the
pencils
Union and Norway government. E4D builds up on the success of E4D, a program that we implemented in collaboration with Absa. This program had the objective of catalyzing the competitiveness of 1,500 women entrepreneurs. The Siha Empowered project in partnership with Absa led to the employment of 1,000 people, out of whom 85% were women. Also, more than 1,100 enterprises improved their business capacity through increasing their annual turnover. The partnership with Absa Kenya Foundation will focus on incubation and acceleration of women enterprises to ensure that they easily access markets and finance.
In the coming years, we aim to support 50,000 MSMEs with a focus on women, youth, and people living with disabilities, driving sustainable economic growth. Through education and skills development, we've empowered thousands, investing in digital literacy and skills, providing scholarships, and building foundations for a brighter tomorrow. But this is just the beginning.
These computers are going to boost the enrollment of the school because many parents want schools where computer is taught. After Form 4, our girls will be able to fit very well outside there.
I never had to deal with the last minute struggle about rushing, clearing my fee balance, not sitting for examination because I have fee balances. I would like to thank Absa so much for this opportunity. Same way they stepped in my life and changed it, same way I do also one day want to just touch someone's life.
When I was contacted to apply this scholarship, I was really happy and hopeful that finally I'd get a way out financially.
It is beyond scholarship. Absa have given me a study laptop. They have given me upkeep money enough to support me at school and also support my grandmother. Now she's comfortable. Absa, you have wiped tears out of the face of a boy from an interior village. A boy who could not imagine of getting out of a madhouse with his grandmother. Thank you, Absa.
Our vision is to empower 750,000 youth in the next 5 years through education and skills that will align them with the needs of tomorrow's industries. Looking ahead, our commitment to sustainable practices remains firm. By working together with communities, we're protecting our natural resources and helping Kenya transition to a low-carbon, climate-resilient future.
Public resources are normally a problem with what we call the tragedy of the commons. Anything that is commonly owned is never very well looked after. And I think Absa has done so well in fighting the tragedy of the commons by being a good champion for the protection and conservation of our forests. I hope that touches on to many others and even their customers.
As we write the next chapter of this story, we will catalyze action across Kenya, conserving our planet for generations to come. In times of need, we've been there, working hand in hand with our colleagues and partners, providing humanitarian relief and building resilient communities.
So as a long-time partner with Absa, Brighter Monday is excited to see the foundation extend its reach. Their commitment to empowering the youth through the Ready to Work program with future skills is transforming Kenya's education landscape. We believe the next generation is in good hands.
Early this year, we launched together with Absa in the Nakuru County government our area program in Salga, digging a borehole which was funded by Nakuru County government.
Initially, they were walking 5 to 7 kilometers to access water, and when they accessed this water, it was not clean water.
So it was important to partner with those institutions that also believe in the sustainability of communities, and Absa is one such partner.
At the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, on very short notice, Absa came through with food assistance for over 6,000 people. The food assistance reached over 400 students from 9 schools in Laikipia County and hundreds of families in Kajiado County and many more in the urban slums of Nairobi County. We are looking forward to what the future holds as they continue to deepen their impact in the communities we serve together.
Hata walemavu ni watu wanaweza kufanya kazi na kuishi wakijitegemea na kuwa na familia zao.
Kwanza nashukuru kwa sababu itafanya ule mtoto ambaye ameregeshwa nyumbani kidogo atarudi shule kupitia Absa. Asante Absa.
Our story of impact did not start yesterday. For over a century, we've touched millions of lives. And now, our focus is on the future.
At Absa Kenya, we believe in the transformative power of growth stories, stories of growth for individuals, communities, and enterprises. The Absa Kenya Foundation represents our commitment to supporting such growth stories. And the launch of the Absa Kenya Foundation starts a journey that continues to present Absa as a force for good in the communities, because in Absa, your story matters.